Hi, my name is Julia, and I run my small business Tubu Slimes, featuring my mascot, Tubu. It all started in 2023 when I bought my first slime and started making my own review videos featuring Tubu and all of the fun adventures I could create. In August of 2024, I started selling my own slimes, and I've had 2 drops since then. Just a few days ago, I had my 3rd drop featuring just 1 slime, and so now I'm going to be focusing on packing and shipping those orders. Hi everyone, it's the Sunday after my launch. It was a really good launch. I made 10 and I sold 13. So that's technically selling out. I've never done that before, so that was fantastic. It does mean though that I have a lot of prep work to do. This is my slime wall, by the way. I'll give you a tour of it some other time, but it's very fun. So yeah, on my to-do list today is to paint the faces of all of the clay tubus. I need to make a little bit extra base topper and finish up a snow fizz for those remaining extras. I have to go buy more clay because I'm 1 tubu clay short, which is so annoying, but it'll be fun. We'll get to go together. And then I need to print more labels to put on the front, and then I can get to packing the orders. My goal is to pack them all today so that I can ship them out on Monday, because I think that shipping turnaround would be really good for them. So bought on Thursday, started shipping on Monday. I think that's achievable. If not, probably at least half, but we will see what we can do. Time to put the new clay in the mold. So this is my little army I need to paint today. So this is what they normally end up looking like after I've added their touch, and then here's what they are right out of the mold. And if you were ever curious, this was a failed one that we squished, and I've been keeping around just because he makes me laugh. But yeah, so I'm gonna paint these. The way I end up adding the paint is actually with makeup. So I use these felt tips to apply it, and I use actually 2 ColourPop palettes to get the color that I want. I use Poodle for the blush, and then for the eyes and mouth, I actually go in with this eyeliner in black and then go over it in this really dark brown, and that helps it feel less intense and a bit more cute. So I now understand why people say that YouTube only shows you the highlight reel, or any social media for that case. So I kind of had a brief panic attack because the clay that I used for the tubu clays was not coming out well of the mold. And then my illustration, like the face painting part of it, was not working. I had like all 13 made, and then I ended up messing up half of them in the illustration phase. So I was frustrated because it was my intention to get them all packed tonight so I could ship them out tomorrow, and then that's just not the case. So I kind of panicked. This is my reenactment of me panicking. And then I just decided I didn't want to film the rest of the day, which was obviously not good for this. That's something I need to work on. I need to work on stress management. I need to remind myself that these arbitrary deadlines that I set should be more guidelines, and remind myself that the customer is always going to prefer a better finished product if it takes 1 or 2 more days longer than get something faster and it's just not as good. It's all fine now. I was able to make and pack 6 of the 13 orders. So that should be good. I don't know why I was panicking. I can get out half tomorrow, and then hopefully with more effort I can get the other ones done. I ended up making a 3rd mold to kind of alleviate that stress, because now obviously that is a 3rd I can make per cycle. And part of the reason where the stress comes from, it's like, oh, well, can't you just put the clay in the mold again and then take it out? Every time we fill the clay in the mold, it needs to go in the freezer for about 3 hours. So in my mind, I was thinking, there's no way I can get all these done if my also painting success rate is like 50%. So that's where I started panicking, getting frustrated, and I just had to stop. But yeah, now everything's fine. So I was stressing out for no reason. People are still going to be able to get their slimes in a really good rate. The people who purchased from them have been following me for a while. They know I'm just trying my best. They know I'm not a huge corporation that could make and ship these out in like 5 minutes. They're aware of that. So yeah, I just need to calm down, do what I can, and try to deliver a good quality product.
Make reproductions of these things in my head.
I thought I'd go over some lessons learned throughout this drop, because there were definitely their fair share of both positive and negative things that I could change or adjust for next time to hopefully make it less stressful. So my first lesson learned is to allow yourself time to experiment on your product. As demonstrated by my issues with creating the tubu clays, I did not give myself enough time to experiment and how to really perfect those clay pieces. Instead, I had announced when the product was going to launch, and so that was my firm date I had to stick by. I was stressed out trying to not only prep for the drop, but also figure out why the clay wasn't working. In the future, definitely, I would dedicate specific time to experimentation, finalize and perfect the product, then determine when the launch date would be. My second lesson learned is to build in buffer time. This is something that clearly I need to do because it allows that time for failures or mistakes to happen, but allows you to recover before you're in this really tight corner. I think if I had built in 1 to 2 weeks of buffer, it would have allowed for not only those tubu clays to work out better, but any other issues to arise. I ended up finding out that the pink eyeshadow was bleeding on the cheeks of the tubu clay. So in the moment, I quickly pivoted to using a pink mica that I had. If I had built in more buffer time, I would have seen that earlier and allowed myself to pivot without being stressed about trying to ship them out on a particular time. And my last lesson, very, very crucial, is to outline every single action needed in order to get the product from initiation to the customer. So what I tend to do is overgeneralize different tasks, and then the tasks end up taking a lot longer than I expect. For example, one of my tasks might have been make slime. That task, if we actually break it down, is very complicated. I need to make the base. I need to make the snow fizz. I need to make the clear. There's a lot of little parts that will quickly add up if I'm not aware of them, and it's gonna further make me into this crunch mode right before I have to launch the product. Like this video if you're interested in more of these lessons learned. I'd love to do a whole video on the things I've learned from all of my small businesses over the last couple years that I think would be really helpful in anyone wanting to start their own business. You definitely can, and I want to be able to be that resource to help you get there. Thank you so much for watching my video today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Them people.
We can put our little feet in it walking together.
Let's do it.
Me, my friend.
Now all of a sudden I can't freaking walk.